Hello, welcome to my little rant today. Today we're going to be discussing my problem with USA Swimming today. So if you guys have not been following along, which I know a lot of you have not, because a lot of you don't care about swimming, a lot of you don't watch swimming, but USA Swimming is having a little bit of like a little bit debacle between Michael Phelps, Ryan Lochte, and the comments made towards USA Swimming and the state of it. So, for those of you who do not know, Michael Phelps initially posted something on his Instagram story that said, in loving memory, it was like a picture and it was like on a gravestone. It says, in loving memory of United States swimming, 1980 to 2025, aged 45. And then they set the bar high until they stopped reaching for it, was the quote underneath the eulogy under the gravestone. They set the bar high until they stopped reaching for it. Um, this was to say that Michael believes that USA Swimming used to be, and that used to be so dominant. They kept reaching the bar so high, and they set that bar so high that they're like, that USA Swimming's now is like, well, that's too hard to reach for it, so I'm not even gonna try. Um, this is in response to the fact that USA Swimming in the World Championships was not leading in gold medals. Um, and Australia was ahead of them. However, today they just now took the lead once again on the last day of swimming. So, um, Ryan Lochte also reposted this on his story. If you don't know who Ryan Lochte is, because I know if you don't watch swimming, you might not know who Lochte is, but Lochte is arguably the second best swimmer ever. I don't believe he is. I believe he's like third. If it was not for Michael, he'd probably be the best swimmer ever by a lot of people's standards. Because a lot of his competition was Michael Phelps, and when you go against the best ever, and you're just barely worse than him, and sometimes you're even better than him, then you're pretty good. Um, in response to and then yeah, in the initial post, Michael Phelps said, "Call it a funeral or call it a fresh start. We've got 3 years, LFG, and then a USA flag." That's to say that, hey, scratch this, restart, recoup ourselves. We have till the Los Angeles Olympics to get our shit together and to dominate once again and be very good. So, if you don't know, Lily King initially posted something like, because yesterday, the women did very well in their events, and we won a couple gold medals, and I believe we tied Australia that day. Um, and Lily something told posted something along the lines of um, where's like Michael's comments now, or like they're being quiet now, something along the lines of that. I don't want to put words in her mouth because I forgot to research what she said exactly, and I'm forgetting because I'm really tired. But Reagan Smith now posted on the last day of the meet when we did catch up, and now we have the lead in gold medals and total medal count. USA Swimming is alive and well because they swam a world record on the last event in the 4x100 medley relay. United States was favored to win that race, but they swam a world record. Really amazing job by the women there, by Kate Douglas, Reagan Smith, Gretchen Walsh, and Tori Husk. Um, and in that comment section, and before I go into this, I don't want to act like I'm hating on Reagan Smith or Lily King or any of these people. I actually really like Reagan Smith. She's at minimum, a top 10 swimmer today that I like in my favorites, top 10. Um, I used to have her a little bit higher, a little bit lower now. I like a couple people a little bit more now, but she's even probably top 5 even. I really like Reagan Smith, men's and women's included in that top 10, by the way. But in that comment section, someone commented, "I like that female," in all caps, the female part, "swimmers are speaking out against know-it-all ex-swimmers that spend all their time on golf courses. A very, very well-deserved clap to the USA." So, let's go over this. Um, First of all, I want to set some groundwork before I'll give you like the context of this. USA Swimming was dealing with stomach bug issues all throughout the World Championships in the very beginning of it. I believe they reported over half of Team USA's roster had like stomach issues and food poisoning that they got from Thailand and the resort, as well as Great Britain also had some issues. So a lot of USA Swimming used it as an excuse as to why we weren't doing well, which is honestly somewhat of a valid excuse. However, liking a comment like this, something like a comment along the lines of this and what Lily King said really has an issue with me because, well, Michael Phelps clearly was not directing this at the women. Like, honestly, clearly, he's been a champion of like women's swimming like a lot. Ask him anything about him about like Katie Ledecky and Summer McIntosh, and I haven't heard him actually say anything about McEwen, but ask him about any of these female swimmers. Just tell you how amazing and like great they are. And I can't see that. I don't see why he would hate Reagan Smith or anything. She swims for the same coach he did. At he's at ASU or Texas now. I think ASU. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm very tired. But liking comments such as along the lines, liking a comment like this, I can't speak right now, shows me that you don't understand what Michael is trying to say, and Lochte is trying to say. We won by 1 gold medal. I don't know about you, but growing up, watching the Olympics, I didn't really watch World Championships growing up too much, but watching the Olympics, what did we do? We always, every single time we won the gold medal count. That was the standard. It was a failure if you won by 1, you're like, wow, that was a bad meet. Terrible meet. Insanely awful event for Team USA. If we won by 1 gold medal. We dominate at swimming. We always have dominated. While the women are still dominating, I don't want to take anything from women. This is honestly directed at men. So I don't get why the women are the female swimmers are standing up so much against these comments. Because they're clearly not directed at them. They're directed at Team USA's men's backstroke, who can't even make a final. They're directed at our butterflyers in the 200 that can't even make a final. And I don't think they're directed at, like, dude, they're directed by our 4x100 who's having issues. Definitely our 200ers and our 4x200ers who can't win a gold medal. I know Great Britain is amazing at that event. Amazing at that race. But when Michael swam, we were winning those. I'm not saying, look, it's okay to sometimes lose a race. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with getting a silver medal. I don't want to act like it's all gold or nothing. But when you're talking about the context of the team, if you're not winning the gold medal count dominantly, then we're saying we have an issue with Team USA swimming. Australia is a country that has hundreds of millions less people than us. I know it's an aquatic country, and that's one of the main sports they do, that and like rugby. So they're going to be very good at swimming. However, USA Swimming never had this problem until recently. So I come to say that I have to agree with Michael Phelps and Ryan Lochte. Not the fact that we're not still the best. We're still clearly the best, especially if you look at total medal count. However, our best swimmers are losing their edge against their best swimmers. Kaylee McEwen's clearly the best backstroker in the world, Australian. Summer McIntosh is clearly the best IMer and all-around swimmer in the world as a female. She's Canadian. Leon Marchand, clearly the best swimmer in men's. He's French. Need I go on? We have one of the best distance swimmers, Bobby Fink. However, he had a bad Worlds. I'm going to assume he had food poisoning and didn't want to use it as an excuse. Because he swam like 15 seconds off his race in Paris. I don't see how you do that other than being incredibly ill. And I want to, I'm going to give him a little pass. But this is more so directed at the backstrokers and the people, and honestly, our breaststrokers kind of suck. Not that, our best stroker isn't bad or anything, but, he even won a silver at Paris Olympics. But we're not as dominant as we used to be. Our best are not the best anymore. However, we still have incredible swimmers. Katie Ledecky, incredible. She's not the best female in the world anymore. At her 800 and 1500, she is obviously clearly the best. There's no debate about it, but she doesn't have the range as like a Summer McIntosh. We have Gretchen Walsh, who's absolutely incredible. We have Kate Douglas, who's absolutely incredible, has a really big range. Tori Husk, one of the best freestyle swimmers, and has a really good clutch team and carried Team USA swimming in the Paris Olympics. But my problem with Reagan Smith in particular, liking this comment, I like that female swimmers are speaking out against know-it-all ex-swimmers. that spend all their time on golf courses. We're talking about Michael Phelps and Ryan Lochte. I'm not acting like Regan Smith's a bum. Regan Smith is one of the best backstrokers ever. But Regan Smith has lost time and time and time again to Kaylee McEwen. She can't win a gold medal against her. I'm not saying that I'm hating on Regan Smith. I really want to put that there. I really, really like Regan Smith. But the know-it-all ex-swimmers. We're talking about the Michael Jordan of swimming, except imagine Michael Jordan. You get Michael Jordan, you add Kareem, and then you add Wilt, and then you add LeBron. That's Mike, and then Magic. That's Michael Phelps. That's how good he is at swimming. Ryan Lochte. That's Kareem. That's LeBron. That's, you know what I'm talking? That's Magic. Know-it-all excellent. This is what we're talking about. Like, Mark Spitz is the only person who might be better than him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really have an issue with this because this is part of the problem. We're okay with the silvers now. We're okay. It should be a disappointment when you don't get a silver. Even, look, I understand if you get a really good time and you get a silver, there's not much you can do about it. I've personally done that. I've had a personal best and I've gotten a silver. I don't cry about it. I'm really happy with my swim. I'm like, okay, I went for, let's say I went 19.99 on my 50 free, 50 yards in that case. And my personal best was 20 flat. I'd be okay. Let's say 20, like 22, 20.2. And I went 19.99. I'd be ecstatic with the swim if I got a silver. If I lost, by a tenth of a second or 5/100ths of a second, 5/100ths of a second, I wouldn't be upset. I know I swam my best. I had my best race. If I was just off my best time, I know I had a good race. Especially when you get that good, like a Regan Smith good, because she swam great in the 100 back, and she still lost to Kaylee. But you have to be a little bit disappointed that you don't win still, though, because your world record would have beat her. Some stuff along the lines of that. We're not talking about the women's swimming when we're talking about in loving memory of the USA that they set the bar too high, they stopped reaching for it. We're talking about all the people who can't make finals. That's who we're talking. We're not directing it at Regan Smith. We're not directing it at Kate Douglas. We're not directing it at Katie Ledecky. We're not directing it at I guess I'll throw in some male swimmers. We're not directing at Shane Toss's amazing swim. He won silver. Amazing. I congratulate him. It was a fantastic swim. You can't expect to beat Leon Farshon when he goes a 152. Well, I guess he went a 153 in that race. But third fastest 2 IM ever. You can't be mad at that. You can't be mad at that. Or for American, third fastest. No. Yeah, Lochte, Phelps, Casas. You can't be mad at that, but you can be mad that our 100 backer and our 200 backers did not make a final. You can be mad that our breaststroker got 5th. And I don't think we had a 200 breaster in the final. I can't recall 50 breast being in. I will say I'm not too concerned about the 50. Well, actually, I am now because they're in Paris. They're in Paris now. United States swimmers have really good underwater, so we should be fine in the 50s. We should be pretty good at 50s. However, who knows? We just don't have that dominant swimmer anymore. Luca Orlando, great meet. Jack Alexi, great meet. I'm really proud of them, and I think they're going to be really good for Paris, and I expect them to win a gold or two. So I don't think, look, even if we win the medal count, is what I'm trying to say, is that we still aren't reaching the bar we used to do. We're celebrating winning by 1, which we should. We should. But we're acting like, hey, USA Swimming's here. We're not going anywhere. Well, we're going down, you know what I'm saying? Like, look, if Michael Jordan starts winning the scoring title by 1 point, you know what I'm saying? Well, I guess it's by per game in the NBA. But if he averages 30.1 points per game and like someone like Karl Malone or like David Robinson or Shaq averages 30 points per game. And no, we'll do Wilt, for example, because this is a better example. If Wilt goes from averaging 55 points per game to averaging like 30, and then he still won the scoring title, you're like, what happened? You know what I'm saying? Your efficiency got worse. You're not making events now. You're not making the backstroke events. You're not making the breaststroke events, and you're not winning them. You're not doing good in the 200 fly. Or I'm sorry. I'm trying to think if Orlando did good in the 200. I'm really tired. I'm gonna say he might have made that one. I can't remember. These races are at 7 in the morning. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I've gotten 3 hours sleep today. But we're not making all of these events. Once again, we're not talking about the women. And hold on, before we go over, Australia did not have their best female swimmer, Ariana. Well, Kaylee McEwen, I think, is the best swimmer for. But they didn't have their best 200. They didn't have their best 400. She would have won against Summer McIntosh. Most likely, she would have beat Summer McIntosh in the 400. Did they win the 200? Was it Molly McAllister or Molly O'Callahan? If Molly O'Callahan did not win the 200, Ariana Titmus could have won the 200. In addition to that, adding Titmus on relays could help them win. Yeah. So I guess that's honestly what I have to say, is that, like, I don't think the swimmers who are saying this stuff as, like, a clapback are getting the point. The point isn't that we're not capable of winning or not capable of winning the medal count, but it's that we're saying the best swimmers ever are saying that, hey, USA Swimming needs to step it up. And look, if someone says that in a room, if you're like, this team needs to step it up, and you're playing baseball and you're batting 400 with a 1.2 OPS, the coach is clearly not talking about you. You know what I'm saying? If you're averaging 40 points per game on 55% from the field, he's not talking about you. He's talking about the scrub over there. I'm not calling anyone on Team USA scrub. They're better than me. You're talking about the people that are not making the finals. The people who aren't even giving us a chance to win a medal. So when someone that intelligent and that good at your sport, like by intelligent, I mean like sport intelligent for that sport, if Tiger Woods and Jack Nicklaus, that's literally the example. If Tiger Woods and Jack Nicklaus are saying that USA Golf needs to step it up and it's going downhill, and we just eke out, I know in golf it's different, but stick for this example. Let's say we dominated golf for, 45 years and nobody touched us, and our team just now is eking out by 1 gold medal, then you got to listen to Jack Nicklaus and Tiger Woods. You can't live in your lava land where you've never won an individual gold medal and you're liking comments like this. It's a little ridiculous to me. Now, I love Regan Smith. I have no ill will hate towards her. Like I said, one of my there's 3 swimmers I follow on my main page on Instagram: Katie Ledecky, Regan Smith, and Kaylee McEwen. It used to only be 2, and she was one of the 2. You know what I'm saying? She's one of the only swimmers I follow on my swim page. It's not like I love Regan Smith. I even have proof that I like Regan Smith. I have definitive hard evidence that I like Regan Smith, and I've been rooting for her entire career, since Tokyo, since before Tokyo. And she was really young before Tokyo. And honestly, look, Regan Smith would have gold medal if it was not for the pandemic. I'm affirming that. The pandemic absolutely killed her, due to her having to take the break off, and she got a little worse. She was dominating. She won a world record. She had a world record going in to 2020, and then the pandemic happened, blah, 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 blah. But look, when Michael Jordan, we'll say they'll do the golf example ever. If you don't know, those are the 2 best golfers ever. When Tiger Woods and Jack Nicklaus are talking, you have to listen. Even if they're wrong, listen. They might be trying to tell you something. I'm not saying don't shut them out if they're incorrect and you're like, hey, I'm doing fine. Once again, if you're the guy shooting 10 under, if you don't know, that's really good in golf. You're the guy shooting 10 over or 12 under, somehow, let's say you shot 18 under. That would be insane. Let's say you shot 18 under, though. He's not talking about you, dude. He's talking about the dude who just barely broke par. He's talking about the guy who shot a +3. So I guess that's the end of this video, but I just want to say, Team USA, I'm really proud of you. I really am proud of you. How you fought back through the stomach bug. Tori Husk, I feel really sorry for you that you had to go through all the stomach issues you had to go through with the food poisoning. You had a really good bounce back at the end of this meet. Katie Ledecky, fantastic 800-meter race. Most entertaining race maybe ever. Even most entertaining world championship race. I'll set it at that. Olympic race is, just going to be a little bit better. Even she would probably agree with that. Kaylee McKeown, well, not Kaylee, we're talking about Team USA Swimming. Reagan Smith, Kaylee McKeown, you really did give it your all, and I'm really proud of you. You did great on the relay. You even beat her on the relay. Fantastic world record. Gretchen Walsh, amazing job. Kate Douglas, amazing job. Luke Orlando, amazing job. Jack Alexi, amazing job. Bobby Fink, I'm sorry about the meet. I know it didn't go how you wanted. I'm going to attribute it to the illness. I think that's probably what happened. Shane Costas, absolutely amazing job. And fantastic 200 IM. I really hope to see you break 153 or 154, be the first 153 ever other than Leon Marchand. So I'm trying to think of any USA swimmers I'm leaving off the list for the men's. I think I said all the women I really wanted to talk about. I am sorry if I missed you. I'm not going to say anything about Lily King. Enjoy your retirement. You had a fantastic career. Arguably the best breaststroker ever for a women's. Great job to anyone else I missed. We got to clean up our weaknesses. And hopefully we get some, more people by Los Angeles. So I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye. Let me know if you agree or disagree. So yeah, I know this isn't the video that a lot of you want, but I'm kind of just yapping right now. So,